Hello, and welcome to the second module of a series of videos on self-directed learning. This video will give you some specific tips on how to manage your learning to get the most out of the time you have available. Remember this student? While she's feeling much more connected to others in her online math class, she's still struggling with the workload of learning online. Consider her reflection.
A few weeks into the class, we had our midterm. While I didn't think I was ever going to be a math genius, I thought I could do okay. All of a sudden, it was the day before the test and I hadn't started studying. I crammed the night before the test, rereading assignments and reviewing the lecture videos. While I wish I had more time, I thought I had done enough, but when I got my grade back, I was shocked by the low score. I didn't know what had happened and I didn't know where to go for help.
This reflection shows that many students often struggle with effectively managing their time, particularly as they have competing responsibilities like a job or family and lots of other classes. This second module will offer a series of specific strategies and tips to help you reflect on your current practices for managing your learning, learn more about how to space your learning over time to avoid feeling overwhelmed, learn how to structure your study sessions, and deepen your understanding of the importance of seeking help when you need it. First, let's consider how you currently structure and manage your learning. For each of the following statements, rate yourself from a score of 5, meaning you always do it, to a score of 1, meaning you never do it. I read the syllabus at the beginning of the course to know when my major commitments will be. I set goals for myself in a course to support my academic success. I know when I am on track to meet my learning goals. I seek help when I'm struggling. Reflecting on how you currently manage your learning is key to understanding how you can be more effective and efficient in your learning. Creating plans, establishing goals, and seeking help are all critical steps in building your self-directed learning toolkit. Critical to managing your time is practicing spacing your learning. Consider these two students enrolled in the same course. Xavier watched a lecture video for Unit 1 and completed the practice problems. He did the same for weeks 2 and 3. 2 days before the exam in week 4, Xavier reviewed the lecture videos and practice problems for all the units. Jasmine watched the lecture videos and completed the problems immediately following Unit 1. After learning the content for Unit 2, Jasmine revisited Unit 1. In week 3, Jasmine learned Unit 3 content as well as doing a refresher for Unit 1 and 2. By week 4, Jasmine had a strong understanding of all the content and did not need to cram anything in the last days before the exam. Take a moment to pause the video. What was the difference in how these two students approached learning the material? Which do you think was more effective? Why? This example demonstrates tip 2, spacing your learning. Research shows that spacing your learning is far more effective than cramming or massing your learning. Instead of cramming or restudying content all at once just before a large assignment or exam, space out restudying over a few weeks. Spacing acts much like a snow globe, as it lets the content settle, and then you can shake it up as you learn more content. But remember, let the snow globe settle after each shake to make them look more effective, much like how spacing your learning helps you better retain information. Importantly, spacing requires the same amount of time studying. It is just spread out over time. Spacing not only reduces your stress levels before a test, but it also makes it more likely you remember the content after the course is over. Key to spacing your learning is self-quizzing. Make sure you go back to earlier units to review that content. You can also quiz your classmates. Make a game out of it. Redo the practice problems without looking at the answers, or create flashcards with key terms to test yourself to see if you or your friends still remember it before you move on. Despite best laid plans, there will likely still be days when you have a lot of studying to do. What then? Consider this student's approach.
There was one particular stretch in one course. I had a midterm and some nasty assignments, all due at the same time. I was stressed. One day, I remember, I was trying to finish up an assignment and I had to study for the midterm later. It was going to be a very long day. But I made a plan. I was going to focus on finishing up the assignment first and then set a goal to review 3 chapters for the midterm. After I achieved my first goal of finishing the assignment, I took a break and called home. I talked to my mom. It was just a 5-minute call, but when we hung up, I felt so much better. Next, I turned to reviewing the chapters. I realized I needed to break up the work. So after I reviewed each chapter, I rewarded myself. I went for a walk, I got a snack, something else. There was so much going on. Sometimes you have to take time to give your brain a rest.
Pause the video again to reflect. How did the student structure their learning time? What strategies did they use? This student implemented the 3rd tip, structure study sessions. Take the following steps to structure your studying. Step 1, set a goal. What do you want to achieve in this session? How will you know you achieved this goal? Step 2, work backwards from this goal. How will you break up the content you need to learn into manageable chunks? Create a to-do list. Each item on this to-do list should only take 30 minutes. If it takes longer, then you should break it up even further. Step 3, study with a focus, checking things off your to-do list. Step 4, every time you check something off, reward yourself with a short, under 5-minute break. Go for a walk, grab a snack. Repeat steps 3 and 4 until you achieve the goal you outlined at the beginning of the study session. And don't forget some more traditional time management strategies. Use the 1-to-3 time ratio. For every hour you spend in your online class, you should spend 3 hours outside reviewing the material. Create a master calendar where you put all of your commitments, personal, academic, professional, in one place. Do not multitask. Focus on one task and complete it before moving to another. Avoid distractions when possible, such as working in a quiet location or silencing your phone. In this video, we explored 3 tips to better manage your learning. Tip 1, understand your own time management style. Tip 2, space your time to review, reread, and practice what you've learned. Tip 3, structure your study time by setting goals, writing to-do lists, and allowing times for breaks. After this video, you will be asked to record your reflections in an assignment on the questions posed throughout this video to help document your thoughts. You will be asked to create a plan for the upcoming few weeks before your next exam. What material do you need to know? When will you learn it? When will you restudy it? What kinds of study goals will you set? Remember, you are not alone in this effort. You can always ask for help. Knowing how and when to ask for help is a critical study habit. Engage with your peers to ask each other questions about course content and remind each other about upcoming assignments, quizzes, and exams. Your school may have a tutoring center, or your instructor may have group office hours. If you are unsure of how to ask for help, reach out to your instructor. Your instructor can support you throughout this process, providing you resources and strategies to help you better manage your own learning.